Action Shelf. The Action Shelf. The Action Shelf.
Welcome to The Action Shelf, the podcast that celebrates the greatness of B action movies. I'm John Campbell.
And I'm Michael Lissman.
Oh boy, Lissman. Does it feel good? Does it feel good to be back in the cage?
It does. Yes. Yeah, the Rage Cage himself has made another appearance
That's
on
right.
this.
This is our second episode with American icon Nicolas Cage. Which I look, I do love the man. This is a little bit different movie than what we talked about last time with him. And
I would argue a better movie. Or at least I enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I think I think more enjoyable is a good term for this. But this is Lissman, as we know, you're a big fan of martial arts films, as am I, but particularly you're sort of the martial arts guy on the show. But this is a movie so chock full of martial arts.
Oh yeah.
Named after a form of martial arts.
Which is sometimes used in this film.
But not that much, actually.
Not that much, but sometimes.
That we had to bring in a second person to talk about martial arts, and that's our guest this week. Donovan Eilert is with us.
Hey,
everybody. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely.
To watch and follow up, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you ask me onto this podcast to review this movie?
Here's the thing with the guests on the show. We keep bringing friends of ours on, and we always ask the same question. Are they still our friends after they've been on this show? Because we make people watch not the greatest of films.
I mean, we made Gorgoni watch 2 movies. So
we did. We watched and actually,
it.
Gorgoni, so far of the guests we've had, has reacted the best to the movies he had to watch.
Wow,
because
that's amazing.
Brendan Jones is still furious at me for making him watch Against the Dark.
I can't blame him there.
So, Donovan, how mad are you about having to watch Jiu-Jitsu?
I am mad that this movie has almost no jiu-jitsu in it.
According to IMDb trivia says there is actually no jiu-jitsu in the movie.
Really?
I was going to argue that there might be 1 or 2 arm bars and wrist blocks that would be jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And no other jiu-jitsu whatsoever. No jiu-jitsu weapons, no jiu-jitsu in technique, no discussion of the philosophy of jiu-jitsu other than one dropped line. One line out of context. And can I tell you the most egregious thing about this movie? I'm just going to swing for this first.
Go for it.
The context of jiu-jitsu, for people who don't know, is as samurai warriors were becoming more popular, you needed to find a way to defeat somebody in full metal armor. You can't just punch somebody in the chest if they're wearing cast iron.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all about using leverage. We'll get to that in a second. And joint locks and yada, yada, yada. If you lose your sword or if you just have a small knife, and how to do this. Mm-hmm. This movie not only doesn't discuss that, doesn't use those techniques, but it also retroactively is trying to tell me that jiu-jitsu wasn't even about that in the first place. And it was somebody's pet project that every 6 years decided to see if people on Earth could do jiu-jitsu.
I mean,
everything is lost.
We got to start right there, which is the mythology of this movie, which is jiu-jitsu was given to the world by this alien warrior who every 6 years, for some reason, comes to Earth to fight people, supposedly with jiu-jitsu, but then also people are called jiu-jitsu because they keep calling the main character, he is the one jiu-jitsu or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The true jiu-jitsu.
Which is great that it's... Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Why not just make up a thing? Why not make this a magical form of martial arts, and then you can combine all kinds of stuff, and then the movie's just, I don't know, whatever. Like,
That's
why?
If
it's already
John.
A crazy fantasy sci-fi movie, why lock it into real jiu-jitsu if you're not going to do jiu-jitsu?
I thought the worst time of my life in in martial arts movie watching was going to be when I went to a movie called The Karate Kid, where they do exclusively kung fu throughout.
Yeah, that pissed me off because I'm also a huge fan of the original Karate Kid.
Correct. And we know the reason they did that was for marketing reasons.
Yes. Only in America was it called The Karate Kid. Nowhere else in the world was it called that. Yeah.
And once they get to the plot of the movie, which, by the way, that one has a plot, unlike Jiu-Jitsu. But the plot of the movie, they then are inside forms of actual kung fu.
Yeah. It was
using
called the Kung
real
Fu Kid
techniques
in other territories.
Yeah. And that was...
Good name.
Because it's not even really a remake of the Karate Kid, other than a kid learns martial arts from an old master.
Yeah.
End of comparisons between them.
End of similarity.
And that old master beats up teenage boys.
That has
films
to happen. And I will say, I'm a huge fan of the Netflix show Cobra Kai, which continues the story of Karate Kid, and does start with that master on that show beating up teenage kids. So we're carrying on the legacy.
I love it.
You know, this movie that we're talking about today doesn't beat up any kids, and frankly, it's lacking for that.
It did feel like something was missing, and that I think
somebody beats up their kid, if that makes sense.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
You mean Nicolas Cage's stand-in?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So clearly not Nicolas Cage.
We should also kind of open up here early. If you take a look at the poster for this movie. There are two very prominent figures on the poster.
Yes.
Gigantic photos of Nicolas Cage and Tony Jaa, who
not
are
the main character.
Not the main characters. In fact, the main character of the movie is kind of just like down and to the right over here in a smaller picture.
I was of the impression that Tony Jaa was going to be the main character, and therefore I would love this film.
I was under the impression this was going to be a Tony Jaa Nicolas Cage vehicle.
Yeah.
Which I am on board for, as loving both of these actors.
Yeah.
I thought Tony Jaa is going to do all the fighting, and Nicolas Cage is going to do his weird cage thing. And I was right about that part, because
you were right about that part.
This is full on Cage in this movie. I will say, he's not in the movie that much, but when he's there, he delivers the goods in this picture.
I agree with that.
Did his dialogue seem like it was improvised?
It probably was. I didn't see any. I don't have any factoids about that, but I know Cage does like to riff in a lot of his movies, so that is not.
Yeah.
And apparently, he was psyched out of his mind to be in this movie because he's always wanted to be in a martial arts movie.
I think he would have gotten in better shape for it.
Oh. Yeah, he's in worse shape here than he was in Primal, which we talked about, which was only like a year before this.
Yeah.
And we keep talking about he's not in like his Con Air shape even in Primal.
Right.
We're past the days of him getting super buff because he's an older gentleman. I follow, but he's looking very paunchy in this movie.
The line that tipped me off to the fact that he's probably improvising was the poet warrior in the sci-fi sense.
Yes.
The spaceman.
Spaceman.
The spaceman.
Yeah.
Poet warrior in the sci-fi sense.
Yeah.
He was in his trailer and he thought that lineup and he just thought this is going to be so great.
I do have some factoids about Nicolas Cage's acting approach to this movie.
Okay.
Which is number one, he chose to wear the red headband in honor of the action icon John Rambo that Sylvester Stallone played. So he wore the Rambo headband. But then he said that his inspiration for the character was the combination of Vin Diesel and Willie Nelson. That's what he said. He was trying to channel those two personalities and put them together to create this character.
If you would have given me enough time, I think I would have put that together. I think if you would have said, name somebody from action movies and somebody outside of action movies, I probably would have gotten there eventually.
When I read that, I'm going, I see it. I do see it.
Yeah. Now, here's my question, how many other Nick Cage movies is his motivation Vin Diesel meets Willie Nelson?
I mean...
Because I would imagine
be
at least a couple other.
A few, yeah. I mean, honestly, even though Vin Diesel wasn't a known entity, even Con Air kind of gets there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this movie, I really like this movie. it might be my second favorite movie that I've seen on this
I
podcast.
enjoyed aspects of this movie, is what I will say.
Yeah.
I think overall, this is a bad movie.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It is
so bad.
enjoyably bad. It is not
Yeah.
as good as Wake of Death. Wake of Death is
No.
actually good. That's
So
still
good.
the only legitimately good movie we've talked about on here.
Yes. Yes.
feel
and
like
that
for
was
me,
our
I
boy
could-
JCVD. So
yeah. JCVD can do no wrong.
yeah.
I feel like I could not get out of my head watching this movie. Like, that's how you know I'm not enjoying something,
Mhm.
is I'm counting length of shots, or I'm trying to fill in my own backstory because they're not giving it to me, or I'm
yeah.
looking at
The
fight
story,
choreography
the
too
plot of
close.
this movie is utter nonsense, complete nonsense.
Yes.
It's all the movie is just an excuse for a series of fight scenes.
Which
Yes.
again, when I'm coming into a movie like this,
Yeah.
that's fine for me.
Yeah.
You know, if as long as there's good fight scenes, I can ignore
And
the
the
fact
fight
that
scenes
plot
are
is fine.
generally good. I'll give you that, Lisman, that I do think when they are fighting in this movie, it's
The-
pretty good.
I would say the choreography was decent, and I would say like the ability of the stunt performers was impressive, like
Yeah.
legitimately impressive. I would say like the way that the fight scenes were shot was incredibly distracting,
Yes.
and
Yes. Particularly,
really like so.
there's a
bad,
lot
like,
of baffling filmmaking decisions in this movie.
Yes.
completely bad. Like
I put a
don't-
lot of this on the director.
I couldn't. Yes. I got the impression that this director was an egomaniac who nobody knew how to say no to, and he's just like, I have a vision. And I'm sure other people were like, maybe just let the stunt performers do their thing. He's like,
Mhm.
no.
He's like, no.
No.
So
I
this
got
is
it. I got
Dimitri Logothetis is the director of this movie. Who
Did you read his bio on IMDb?
I did read his bio. Yes.
Did you get the impression that he wrote it himself?
Yes. I
Dimitri.
Oh wait.
an incredibly virile
Wait, hang on.
individual.
It credits. There's a credit for his biography on IMDb.
Oh.
Who wrote it? And it is.
It's a picture of him in a wig.
So
and
he
sunglasses.
once again it is Dimitri Logothetis. Biography by Tim Logothetis. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Clearly
Brother,
his fake
son,
twin brother.
nephew.
It's a pen name,
It's
you know?
it's fake twin brother that he goes to his parties as, when he doesn't
Yeah.
want to show up.
Yeah, he's the ghostwriter for his autobiography.
He takes
Hold on,
a
did someone
serum
say
and gets into
Ghost
a-
Rider? Yeah. Oh man, I wish we could do those movies. Those movies are too big for this podcast. They aren't really B
Yeah.
movies, but
Which is
I just
also
want-
amazing.
both
I
of
just
those
want a
movies
movie-
are bonkersville.
I want a movie where Nicolas Cage is a like an author who writes books under a pen, like he's a ghostwriter, but he still has the flaming skull, and
Yeah.
it helps him write.
I don't
stories
ride
better.
the motorcycle anymore. I just write people's books for them.
Yep. I
That's
love
what I
it.
want.
Do you know about
Yeah.
that? When they filmed those movies, he actually painted because it's obviously a CG thing, but he
Right, yeah.
painted in makeup the skull on his face so he could intimidate the other actors. And you can look up photos of the on-set parts of the movie when they were filming the Ghost Rider scenes, and they are well worth a Google because he looks like a maniac.
He usually does.
Because he's
That's
just
amazing.
screaming in people's faces with this crazy skull face paint on.
yeah.
Anyway,
So yeah, let's dive in
let's
now that
dive
we all
into, and this one we should say written and directed by Dimitri Logothetis.
and produced
A guy who has a lot of a big background in action filmmaking.
which I was shocked because
It
this
does not
movie
show.
does-
He has-
it
he
does
has-
not show in this film.
He has
No.
20 director credits, and he's been directing since 1987. He did a lot of TV, but he's recently taken up directing the Kickboxer franchise, which is a franchise we will no doubt get to on this show, Listman, which is,
Yes,
of
yes.
course, a Jean-Claude Van Damme franchise.
Love to see it.
He's directed the recent entries in it, not the original Kickboxer. And he has pulled the star of those movies to be his main character in this movie. The star of the recent Kickboxer movies, once again,
Boy.
Alain Moussi is how I'm going to pronounce his name. Moussi.
Or not.
You mentioned that on the movie poster, he's in the bottom,
Yeah.
kind of far removed.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to me because this guy's whole motivation is when you throw a party and everybody else gets the cue to leave and go home, except for one guy who decides he just kind of wants to stay around. And then things get a little bit darker than you expect them to get, and you realize it's a cry for help. That's what I got from this guy the whole time. So even in the movie poster, I think he's giving me that energy.
Is Elaine still here?
Yeah. He's just around, so we were just filming around him, honestly. He wasn't written into the movie. There was a fight scene in one of the holding cells that he was in where he looked confused while he was fighting, and I thought, is this a choice, like an acting choice, where like jujitsu is like taking control of his body and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing, because he looks so lost.
Oh man,
but then the rest of the movie happened.
Have you seen the movie Upgrade, Listman?
No.
That is the plot of that movie, where a guy gets a chip implanted into his head, and the chip can take over his body and make him fight. So the actor is doing these crazy fights, but being like, in his face, I don't know what I'm doing. Great, cool sci-fi action movie. Check that film out, because that actually does do what you're talking about, and that guy does a great job. Here, that's completely unintentional, of course.
Couldn't tell if it was trying to tell us about his amnesia, where he like clearly remembers
I do
his
think
kung fu or
that's
his
the one
jujitsu,
favor the screenplay does this guy's acting style, is by making him confused the whole movie.
And
like
amnesia.
his character is actually like, wait, what? I don't know what anyone's talking about. That serves him well, actually, as an actor. I am curious to see the kickboxer movies, because I think those actually are going to require more acting on his part. But go on, Donovan.
I was going to say that somehow I thought it was being the worst plot device, and it's probably the most crucial thing to his role in this movie, because without it, it would be so much more confusing.
Yeah, and it is the crutch that holds his performance
and
together.
It is yet another.
I love the air quotes.
How many other better action movies does this movie rip off? Because the amnesia part of it, very Jason Bourne, right?
Yeah.
The vast majority of the plot is so Predator that I don't understand how they don't get sued, actually.
I wrote down, wait a minute, is this a Predator? Is this a Predator and I didn't know?
It is It is so beat. The whole sequences in the jungle where it's invisible and hunting them are, like I said, really worthy of a lawsuit from the creators of Predator, because it is almost shot for shot in places sequences from Predator. Which is, once again, a far better movie.
Yes.
Really, I'd watch any of the Predators. But by the way, I just want to point out the actors, as we've talked about. He is primarily a stuntman. Most of his credits on IMDb are for doing stunts. But so he I will say, though, he did play Batman on Titans, but only in the scenes where he's in the suit and fighting. He says no lines as Batman. He doesn't play Bruce Wayne. He's only in sequences where Batman's in the suit, because that has an older Bruce Wayne who's played by the guy who plays Jorah Mormont on Game of Thrones.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, who does a really good job as like a broken down. But when he's in the suit, it's this guy. So I guess you can say he's a Batman actor.
He is a Batman.
He does play a Batman.
Truly one of the greats.
Yeah, but does a lot of once again, a lot of stunts. He was Jai Courtney's stunt double on the Suicide Squad, so he was Captain Boomerang's stunt double in that movie. And does a lot for the DC shows. Does a lot of Arrow. Has done some of the X-Men movies. Does stunt work for the Star Trek shows.
He's got a face that looks just kind of vaguely familiar too.
Yes,
which I think works for the stunts, right? Because it's like, he looks. I mean, just like looking at stills of him. Okay, yeah, he looks good for camera. His background. He is a trained martial artist, though. He is trained.
Clearly not in jujitsu.
Well, actually, his martial arts training is in the art of jujitsu. And kickboxing.
Really?
Amy didn't use any.
He trained in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Well, we're splitting off here now.
He trained in Brazilian jiu-jitsu and kickboxing.
Okay, so Brazilian jiu-jitsu, also not featured in this movie.
No.
But also very different from OG jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Because that's all about getting somebody to the ground and grappling them, which, again, not used once
No.
in
It
this
was-
film.
They
A
relied.
little bit.
It seems like
A
they relied
bit.
more on his kickboxing skills.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
once again,
there's
he
a
does
lot of-
play the titular kickboxer
Yes.
in that
If
franchise.
you told me this movie was based off of Tai Bo, I would believe it.
Yes,
Sure.
definitely.
Like that's the fighting we get a lot of in this movie.
I mean,
we
yeah.
get
There
a
were-
couple cool moments, but
There were a couple shots when Tony Jaa was fighting where it was like beat for beat the exact choreography from some of the Ong Bak films.
Yes,
Like
his
beat for
first
beat.
fight when he that like single take fight when he's fighting through guys felt very Ong Bak to me, which is
Yes.
great because the Ong Bak. By the way, just go watch the Ong Bak movies or watch The
They're great.
Protector. Really watch any of Tony Jaa's. I love The Protector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff he does in those movies. This movie just gives you a little snapshot of how good Tony Jaa is.
yes.
Just a
Taste of
taste, because when he's
Yeah.
on screen, it's infinitely better than when anybody else is fighting.
Tony
Agreed.
Jaa is like 50 something in this film.
Yes, he's
Crazy.
and he's still in the exact same shape. He appears
Yeah.
not to have aged. He still could kick anyone's ass. Yeah, he's what is he? He's
One of my bigger complaints about this movie is absolutely not Tony.
he's 44 actually. Listen.
Which
But
in
still.
which in stunt double years, that's like 70.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, yeah, you have to imagine the beating his body has taken doing all those.
Oh,
moves.
yeah.
He I think he's spectacular in this film.
Yeah.
I would say not only is he not used well in this film,
Nope.
other than a couple key fighting moments, he's actively not used well. And by that I mean there's that famous, everybody's talking about it, POV shot through the camp as they're escaping, which by the way was the most bonkers decision I could have imagined.
Here's the thing that's crazy about it. Number one, because the fight scene is a first-person POV fight, except sometimes it's not.
Except for sometimes
Yes.
it's not.
The camera goes in and out of the main character's POV, which is
Correct.
even more baffling than just doing a first-person fight scene.
It's so
Correct.
confusing and hard to follow. I didn't know
I-
what was happening.
That is
But-
one of the worst directed fight scenes I've ever seen.
I've
Yes.
ever seen in my entire life. And to that point, you have moments where because the camera, the POV is somebody running down, it's essentially a Disneyland right at that point, right?
Mhm.
He's just moving through the space he needs to. Tony Jaa will come onto screen, punch a guy a couple times, and then just leap off screen
Mhm.
to nothing. Because
Nothing.
when the camera eventually turns that way, it's just a blank space with no bodies there, which means he literally punched and leapt. He just like got out of there.
I'm not in
Why
this part of
didn't
the
he
fight.
just yeah, exactly. He's like, nobody told
And
me.
the
I
other
needed
thing
to show up
that
for
doesn't
this
make
class.
sense, if this guy's actively fighting, why are there times when he's just standing there watching Tony Jaa fighting, if we're in his perspective? Because there are several
Yeah.
times
Exactly.
where he has stopped and gone like, oh, he's doing some cool stuff. Oh, wait, let me fight. And how many times?
Yeah,
there are
ex-
multiple times when he turns around and is like, guy with a knife.
Yep.
And like the camera would drop on the ground and be sideways, like, but that would imply that he was holding the camera while
Yeah.
he was fighting,
And
and you
then
see like
sets
the
it
punches
down.
come around the camera like a
Oh
Yeah.
my
like a
God.
video, like a
It's-
first-person
which
shooter.
is
Yes.
the opposite of what I thought was the best sequence, which is when the camera is just on Tony Jaa's back
Yeah.
throughout an
Yes.
entire fight, and it's an unbroken take as he fights
Yes.
through this whole base of people. And I don't know, it's a 5 to 6 minute take, and he's just
It's cool.
wrecking dudes. And I'm like,
Pretty good.
I was totally in on that. If you're gonna watch any part of this movie, watch that part because it's
And I know
great.
that this is not a movie to pull apart these sorts of things because I know you need Tony Jaa to rip through a camp of people.
Yeah.
But my biggest complaint about that moment is how long it takes people to remember that they have guns
Oh,
and or that they have agency at all.
these
Yeah.
military
Literally
guys
stand there.
never go to their guns almost.
Yeah. And then when they do react, it's like so slow. It's like, were these guys all at a frat party right before this and got super
very
wasted on
hungry.
Rolling Rock? Yeah, exactly.
It
And
does,
then
you can
they're
actively
trying to,
see
like-
some of these soldiers go, right, machine gun.
Yes.
And then
When it's
then
like-
it goes into the slow motion so you can see the bullets through the air, very matrixy.
Oh my god,
Yes.
so bad.
And also,
Yes.
do you notice when he's hitting guys? This was one of the things I thought. There's CGI dust coming off of them,
Yep.
and it's
This-
so
this-
and it's so weird. It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
all of the CG was terrible.
Yes.
There was a specific scene, I think it was also the fight scene where he was in like a holding cell, and anytime the main character would punch somebody in the face, there'd be like maybe two or three frames of just like the most like bright neon blood splatter, and then it disappears instantly.
Yes.
Like they didn't even bother to animate it. It's just a still image.
I know
appears on...
enough about After Effects to do better than this, and I am no CG animator by any stretch of the imagination. But
CG
just from
was
playing around with the program,
this looked like early '90s CG. It was
looks
so bad,
really bad. Which actually, I think that's a good time to bring this up. A game we often play on the show, Listman and Donovan. You're going to join in for this one.
Love it.
How much do you think this movie cost? Having just seen it, and this came out last year. This is a brand new movie, basically.
2020.
So, John, can you give me a few other movie budgets generally for context?
For other movies we've covered on the show?
Sure, or even just like, I mean, what did the last Avengers cost?
That's like a $250 million movie.
Okay, great.
So let's say 250 is about as much. That would be the absolute biggest blockbuster film is going to cost about $250 million.
Whereas something like Get Out probably costs
10 to 20.
20.
10 to 20,
Okay,
somewhere in that range.
I would. Okay, thank you. That's good context. I'm gonna guess it's probably more than I expect it to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this movie cost $30 million to produce.
Okay, Donovan says 30. Listman?
I'm gonna
and
say
we play by Price is Right rules, so.
Okay. I'm gonna say $7. I'm gonna say $7 million.
$7 million. Okay, you're lowballing it. Donovan, you are closest with $25 million. This movie cost.
Really?
Wow.
$25 million. Now, this we don't often play, but I have this information. I would like you to guess the percentage of the budget that went directly to Mr. Nicolas Cage.
50%.
I'm gonna say he got
$12.5 million is Listman's guess.
$12.5 million.
Oh, I would say
no, probably not
that.
that.
$7 million for
Ooh,
this.
once again, Donovan closest at $5 million. A fifth of the budget went to him.
20%.
Wow.
That's why
his budget went to him
for, and he brought it too.
And
he was worth every penny.
3 days of the 6-week shoot. They shot this movie for 6 weeks. He was there the first 3 days and out.
Oh,
do you know, I mean, I don't have this in front of me, but my guess is out of a 2-hour movie, it's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
longer than it needs
an hour
to be.
45, maybe something like that.
Nicolas Cage is actively in this film for 25 minutes of that.
I think that actually might be high. I think it's probably more in the
he might have been high,
20
honestly.
and some change range, you know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely no more than 25 minutes. And there are my favorite part of the movie, one of my favorite things in this movie is when they're like, "All right, Nicolas Cage, you better stay back for this next part." And it is almost like the movie going, "You are too expensive to have in more scenes."
Yes.
Well, a fifth of this budget is already going to you. We cannot give you more money to keep being in this movie right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
incredible. But I will say, they get their money's worth with Cage.
Yeah.
Because every scene he's in are the best scenes. Like,
yes,
he is
far and away the best scenes.
He is doing they got Cage. And that's the thing I think we like about Cage on this show, right, Listman? Because we hate Bruce Willis on this show because Bruce Willis takes a lot of money for these movies, often a huge chunk of the budget. We famously know he gets paid $1 million a day, which actually Cage was paid more on this. But Willis is so checked out, not giving you anything in any of his movies. Cage, even in the garbage stuff like Primal, he's in. He earns his money.
I will gladly watch any Nicolas Cage movie over what Bruce Willis does.
But you don't know this, Donovan, but Listman is still traumatized by the one Bruce Willis movie we watched, and we have right now we're taking a break from Willis for a while. He's banned for a short period of time on this show.
Yeah. What's this movie?
The movie we watched was called Hard Kill. Which in no way sounds like a famous franchise that Bruce Willis does.
Yes,
but it is.
I was hoping it was more like that franchise, honestly.
Yeah, it is still. It is. Have you ever dreamed of Die Hard in an empty warehouse? That's what that movie is, basically.
So Die Hard with no stakes.
Basically, yeah.
Exactly.
And the same 3 henchmen getting killed over and over again because they don't have the money. And also Bruce Willis locked in a room for most of the movie. He's not. It's other people doing the action, and every once in a while they cut to Bruce Willis hearing action happening. Because once again,
he has to hear it through He has to hear it through his infinity scarf.
We are
which is
obsessed with.
blocking
He
all
wears
sound.
an infinity scarf the entire movie. We are obsessed with it because it was probably a little chilly where they filmed.
It's very cute. You know, I think he pulled it off.
It is a weird look for
Amazing.
that man. But that is still, listen, still the worst movie we've watched.
Yes.
Definitely, and we've
Nothing
watched
comes
not a
close.
lot. We've watched a few not good movies, but that is
Yeah.
definitely
Wow.
Nothing
That's
comes
absolutely
incredible.
the worst.
Yeah.
But that all this to say, Nicolas Cage never not committed.
Yes.
Correct.
He is
Exactly.
in.
He never committed. He never didn't commit to not learning his lines.
Yeah.
He didn't ever not commit to not learning his fight choreography.
Well, I will say, is that another game we play on the show is actor or stuntman, and I'll
Oh,
just say
boy.
this as a blanket statement for
Every single
Nicolas
time
Cage fight
does
scenes.
something.
I think
Yeah.
it's all stuntman.
Yeah,
I think other than a couple of close-ups in the middle of
I
those
think
fights,
he gets a couple swings in that sword fight.
Yeah.
You know, I think he gets
Yeah.
and there's a
of
couple
those.
things of him like finishing a punch close, but he didn't
Yeah.
actually like start it.
Oh,
There's a
you mean
couple-
like a Wing Chun punch, like a completely different martial arts system than Jiu-Jitsu? Yeah, I saw that.
And then clearly, by the way, the easiest Nicolas Cage to double though, because of this ridiculous wig he wears the whole movie.
I mean, that's probably why he was wearing it.
Yeah. Well, and also
Uh,
because I feel like Nicolas Cage goes, my view of the character is like. Nicolas Cage
Yeah,
does seem
well,
like a
no,
guy
the
who's
Super-
got a
the
lot of
Superman
thoughts on the
look.
character. Oh my
Yeah.
god, his famous comment about wanting to play Superman like a lone samurai. Just like, cool, man. I don't know what that. There's a part of me that wishes that Superman movie existed so I could see it, but
Yeah.
also would have been damaging for a character I love.
If we
the
ever
next
find a
best thing.
multiverse, I'm going to find the universe in which that movie got made.
I agree.
Yes.
Just to see Tim
Yeah.
Burton directing Nicolas Cage in a Superman movie. What even,
Amazing.
My God. But for the amount of we're talking about him, he's really, not in the movie very much at all,
Nope.
despite the fact this
No.
whole film was sold as a Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah, that's how you pitched it to me, John.
That's how it was sold. I mean, it's similar to Bruce
Yeah.
Willis in that Hard Kill movie. We thought we were watching a Bruce Willis movie, and he's barely in it. That's
Yeah.
what they do. That's kind of a move that a lot of these movies make.
They can't afford him.
The other
Yeah.
person who I love as an actor that's in this movie is Frank Grillo.
I was just about to
love
say,
Frank
Grillo is legitimately good in this movie.
Is that Rumloff?
Yes.
Legitimately.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Legitimately.
yes. He
Yeah.
plays Rumlow in the Marvel movies.
Yes.
He's the star of the Purge franchise. He
Yeah.
is a good actor, actually.
Yes.
And he is taking, like, the story is nonsensical and stupid,
Mhm.
but like he is the only one treating it with the seriousness that it,
Absolutely.
theoretically would have.
Yeah,
he's,
100%.
He's the real actor in the bunch, and it shows. But his character is also nothing.
Well, yeah, he's given nothing, but yeah, he
But
is.
when he's on
legitimately
screen, he's riveting because that's what happens when you get a real deal actor in him. I love Frank Grillo. I watch all of his stuff because he's great.
good. He's great.
I highly recommend. I may have referenced it on the movie before or on the show before. A movie called Boss Level that he made for Hulu. That is an excellent action take on Groundhog Day, but it's really played like a video game
cool.
where it is him having to fight through the same day again and again to get better, to get to the next section of the game, which is his day. Such a
He's
cool,
like in some roguelite.
Yeah, it does sound like.
and it
yeah.
actually keeps track of the lives that he's on and stuff like that. This is his
cool.
attempt. No, it's a really cool. It has all these 8-bit graphics in it and stuff. It's a really, really cool and fun action movie, and he rules
Cool.
in it. Here though, I wanted more. I wanted Grillo and Jaw to really take the.
Yes.
That would be.
I wanted them to be the main characters of this movie.
because they're. But I think once again they are probably expensive as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we give most
Yeah.
of our time to Crabman from My Name Is Earl.
Oh my God! Thank you for mentioning that because that is one of the most random appearances. I was like, "That's Crabman," and
Yeah.
I'm a huge My Name Is Earl fan. That was a great show.
Yep.
What is he doing in this movie? Both, why is this actor? in the
Whatever
movie,
he
and what
wants.
is this performance?
Yeah.
He
A little out of
he
more-
doesn't fit the
more-
tone of anything here.
More than that, what is the typography that they're using for these subtitles? That made the different sized words and different colored words
Yeah.
made no sense to me.
Randomly emphasizing words and sentences for no reason.
That the actors were not emphasizing. in their
No,
performance.
it does the thing with subtitles I like, which is actually typing it out next to a person's mouth. I like those like a comic book.
Yes.
Because I find
Yeah.
that they flow better than just putting it at the bottom of the screen. But
Oh, is this movie like a comic book, John? I didn't notice.
Now that you mention it,
I didn't.
yes,
I didn't notice
these-
that this was like a comic
the
book.
graphic. They talk about the graphic novel approach of the movie. Yeah, using these panels and sort of drawings, which is actually something they stole from The Warriors, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
Much better done in that much better film. Once again, everything in this movie is just sort of cobbled together pieces of other movies. But I think this was my guess is this was an editing decision to go, this movie's kind of dumb. What if we couch it as a comic book? Then people are going to kind of roll with it.
Isn't it based on a
I
comic?
think it might be based on
Is
believe it
this
is
based
an
on a
actual
comic
comic.
book? Oh, wait a minute
Yeah.
then.
I believe it's based on a comic of the same name.
So here's the thing.
Oh, well, now I want to
is
read
that-
this comic. The
No, I
IMDb
don't-
doesn't say anything about that.
So
No, it doesn't.
The subtitles with the emphasized words. In comics, you often get somebody doing a bold word
Yeah.
because you can't hear it being spoken.
Correct.
Right.
But when you have people speaking, you don't need to emphasize the words because their tone
And also,
would tell you what
you
they
especially
need to
don't
know.
need to emphasize the words when the actor isn't emphasizing the words.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's,
It doesn't matter. It makes everything more confusing.
Yes.
It's-
Yeah.
And also, I want to talk about the fact that Crabman is a translator for the military that's here, and he's
Not a good
terrible.
one.
He's a terrible.
Yes.
He basically can't speak the language, and he
Yes.
keeps blaming it on the foreign people, going, I don't know, she's talking crazy.
Yeah. Which is not a great look.
No,
It's not a great look.
For
Especially
these
'cause he's like
perfectly
one-
reasonable people that are trying to explain
Yeah.
things to him.
Yeah.
Yes. And try to keep everybody safe because
Yeah.
they seem to know more than everybody else does.
The
Yeah, they know the
weird
legend.
old couple in this movie.
That are fighting at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
yeah.
my favorite parts.
They were great. Yeah, they
Uh,
were great.
Which is, where is this movie supposed to take place? Burma, right?
Yeah, it's
It
Burma.
says
Yeah.
it's in
Yeah.
Burma.
I will say this movie holds a record or whatever, but is notable for being the first ever film to be shot in Cyprus. Shot exclusively
okay.
on the island of Cyprus. So
Okay.
that's notable.
So here, can I just ask a question about the plot because it was not obvious to me.
Hmm.
So this alien comes every 6 years to fight a champion.
Hmm.
The beginning of this movie, we see the main character, if you want to call him that,
Mhm.
running away, leaping, falling, hitting his head, and getting amnesia.
Yeah.
Right?
Once we got to talk about the flying discs that are being shot at him.
Yeah, he's running
It's a
away
very
from.
real looking.
He's one.
flying
he's running away from little metal bats,
Mhm.
and he jumps off a cliff.
Yes.
from Batarangs.
Yeah.
Some batarangs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now Warner Brothers is suing. Everybody's suing. this movie.
So my question is, he's then found by the fisherman and his wife, and yada yada yada.
And Nicolas Cage
Taking
in
the
a
notes.
rice patty hat.
Yes.
Which I'm a
Uh,
little bummed he didn't keep that look throughout the movie, but then I guess we'd be being sued by the Mortal Kombat people because he's rocking
Right.
a
Yes.
Raiden
'Cause he's
look.
Raiden,
Yeah, exactly. So then we take him to the military, and he's being questioned, and he's got amnesia.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where this point comes up.
Hmm.
He's theoretically been in this place for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
And the woman, woman agent we're supposed to care about tells him, "Oh,
Who
you're
seems
in
like
Burma."
she's going to be another main character and then is killed like
Nope.
in 30 minutes.
Unceremoniously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, that
So-
had to have just wounded her, right? Oh, no, she's dead.
She's just straight dead. So, with also no consequences because there wasn't like a love interest or a backstory that needed her to stay alive.
Mm.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm getting to is he's been here for a long period of time, and she's like, "Oh, you're in Burma," and his response is, "I thought it was Myanmar,"
I also noted this.
and I thought it was supposed to tell me that he's had amnesia for a long while and that he's been out of this, and then with the concept of every 6 years. Was that the last trial that he ran away from? Has he been like amnesiac for 6 years?
Yeah, I thought they talked about that was this trial. Because that's
So then
why
why doesn't he
they talk
know
about
where he
because he
was?
ran away. That's why Brax, who's the evil alien,
Oh
is
boy, Brax the Destroyer.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Brad.
Now Marvel's suing.
Yeah.
Because he ran away, that's why he's now attacking innocent people, which he doesn't normally do. Because
okay.
it's only when they fight him, because he says if the 9 chosen warriors fight me, you don't even have to win. They could all die because they pretty much always do.
Yeah.
That is why I will keep away from attacking anyone else. So basically, it's this noble cause to fight this evil alien so that he doesn't attack the innocent people of Earth.
So then why does, first off, that motivation still isn't clear.
Nope.
Second,
I didn't say it was
why
clear. It's just lines in
doesn't-
the movie.
why doesn't he know where he is? A place that he theoretically was born and raised. Wouldn't he have an idea? It's
what
it's my
he
biggest complaint
doesn't
about the
remember
original-
is unclear throughout the movie. Like, his amnesia ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
By the way, I
Also,
looked it up.
wasn't-
This is based on a comic book that is also written by the writer and director of the film.
Oh, that makes
well,
perfect sense.
yeah.
Okay.
So my guess is the comic book is
Also bad.
but probably the reason it's not credited because I'm guessing filmmakers are doing this more and more now. It's kind of a pitch for the movie. You write a comic book and then you can bring it into the
Exactly.
studio and go, here's the film. Cowboys and
Gotcha.
Aliens is a prime example of that. Darren
Yeah.
Aronofsky also did it. Let's mention a better movie for The Fountain. To get The Fountain made, he did that. Simon Wigram did it for Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes to go, this is kind of our take on Sherlock Holmes. It's an effective way to pitch a movie. But
If the movie and or comic are good.
Yeah.
yes, which in
Yes.
the case of Cowboys and Aliens, neither was good.
I just feel like him not knowing where he is reminds
And
me
I-
of my biggest complaint of the original Planet of the Apes, where an astronaut spends time on his home planet for 3 hours and then doesn't realize he's on Earth.
Yes, a lot of people
Right.
have talked about this. Wouldn't you think he'd examine the stars and figure out where he is? And
Yeah, or just the
Yeah.
terrain. Like, it hasn't changed that much, buddy.
Also, I looked this up.
I'm
believe...
gonna let it slide, but Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite movies ever.
I will also think that this main character, it's not that he lived in a different part of this country. The assumption is he lived within minutes.
because we'll discover,
showdown.
spoilers, he was raised by Nicolas Cage, who's his
Of course he
father,
was.
which they tossed off after Nicolas Cage has died. Yeah, that guy was your father.
Why didn't they tell him before he died?
I don't know. I don't know
You're all
why keep
terrible
that a
friends.
secret. Like they play that like it's supposed to be a Darth Vader like reveal, but it's such a just like, that Nicolas Cage is your father, right? He was, yeah, totally.
And then they cut back to the man teaching a little boy how to punch.
the man who is very much not Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Very much so. Well, he changed a lot in that time.
Yeah.
But he still has the same wig.
Same hair,
But it's just like
you know.
we can't pay Cage to do this one shot, so
Yeah,
we'll get his
yeah.
his approved stunt double or whatever.
I bet that
a guy
was
in better shape than Cage though.
I think that was a directing choice week 5.5 after Cage was already long gone.
Yeah. Once
Like,
again,
this movie
he shot
doesn't-
the first 3 days and he was out of here.
Yes.
Do you think that that character was actually just the wig, and that the human host is just like the vessel for the
The
wig?
wig
I
is his
mean-
father.
I love that.
And then when that guy died, the wig, it's like a Green Lantern ring. It just shoots off of him and finds somebody else who's worthy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
You have the power to
glad-
create great jujitsu.
What was- Oh, go ahead, Donovan.
Oh, I was just gonna say that whole fight with Nicolas Cage dying, like he does it so they can escape, and they stand there and watch the whole fight.
I know. I love
Yeah.
it.
That's
not
All
what
my
a
notes are like, why is
distraction
no one
is.
getting involved?
Yeah, or running
Or
away.
running
Like,
away.
if he
Those are
is-
the options. Instead, Warner Brothers is suing again because he gets his invisibility cloak.
Yes.
Which I love. It's like, put this coat on and Brax can't see you. And it's really only used. I'm like, why isn't he using this when he's fighting Brax?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
thought,
It's not fair, John. It's not sportsmanlike.
but Brax is turning invisible in that fight. So
Yeah,
I
that's
thought, wouldn't that even the playing field?
No.
Because I thought that was going to be the thing when Brax turns invisible when he's fighting. By the way, the great martial arts hero of this movie, Jake. He turns invisible. I thought, oh, that's going to be the point where Jake's like, haha, I'm also invisible. No.
Yeah.
No. I also like that a thin fabric makes them invisible to whatever
Yes.
vision he has.
It's just
not
it's
explained
just a
why or
coat.
how.
It's just like a big
Yeah.
coat.
like
Yes.
a really thin, like
It's a
very-
bathrobe.
Yeah, it's like a trench coat bathrobe.
It's like a bathrobe that you wear when it's like 90 degrees outside, and you want it to be, airy and
Yeah.
and-
Nice linen bathrobe.
yeah, exactly.
They picked this up at a spa. They put it on him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that was insane. Where they're like, put this coat on, he'll never see you, and it seems to work
unexplained.
when he gets to his non-copyright infringing predator vision.
I want to see the movie that it's just Brax and his home world, where nothing is like what he's doing, and he every 6 years sneaks away to let his rage out. He's got like some dead end job.
Yeah,
his wife
He's
is always
accountant.
yelling at him, and he has to sneak away to murder humans every 6 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Honey, I'm
we
going
don't
out. I'll be gone a couple
We don't
weeks.
get. He gifts jujitsu.
Yeah. He
And
gives
then-
jujitsu so he can have people to fight. That's the whole thing. Is he comes over here and he goes, "Hey, no one can fight me at my level. I better teach them jujitsu. They'll pass that down so I can fight people every 6 years."
I'm
Theoretically,
surprised
this
that he's not testing, humans for the martial arts that they have created, and to
Right.
prove that his form is the superior.
I mean, that's
If he-
getting
okay,
more into
he-
the predator thing, right? Where they're trying to find the ultimate hunter.
yeah.
If he taught humans jujitsu a million years ago, and every year the champions show up with Wing Chun and Tien Shen Pai and karate and all of these other forms of martial arts and get destroyed, and that nobody has tried jujitsu since the beginning because that's what he's done, and that's what Nicolas Cage taught his son growing up. That's a better movie. That's
Yeah,
a movie where jujitsu is
You
used.
just pitched a way better movie. And also,
Yeah.
that would be cool because then it's like each character has this guy's the karate guy. She does Wing
Totally.
Chun. It's all this kind of just like that's their. Instead, this movie just gifts them, much like the Ninja Turtles, a signature weapon for each of them.
Yes,
Each of
yes.
the other warriors, who we don't know how all of them have come together, why they know that they're the chosen ones, unclear.
And some of their
I
weapons
think they have
are
a dragon
more
tattoo
cool than
on-
others.
They wake up
Oh
with
right,
the dragon
that's
tattoo.
right. They have the tattoo because when they're after the army while they're in which by the way nothing really comes of the army having any place in this movie, other than I want to talk about a character who seemingly is gonna be important in the movie, and then unless I miss something, does he not just disappear? Which is
blonde guy.
No, which is Rick Yoon, the big Asian guy who's in the army, who's another
he
actor
comes
I
back.
like. He does come back,
back.
but then does he actually do anything after he comes back?
No.
That's what I mean. Then he just disappears again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This ultimately, because and I like Rick Yoon. He was the villain in the first Fast and the Furious. He's in Olympus Has Fallen. He's been in no reason he shouldn't be named Diamond Face in Die Another Day. Makes no sense. It's a James Bond movie. He's got diamonds in his face. How does no one call him Diamond Face? But a good, at least like intimidating physical presence in action movies.
Yes.
And he is sort of the actual like a Predator character. He's an army guy who faces off against Brax, gets scarred by what I kept calling his hot hand.
Yep.
Because I don't know, and I also don't understand why he doesn't use that in every fight, because it seems like
I
the
call it
ultimate
up
winner.
glove.
The up
The
glove
up
is so
glove.
good. Yes, his up glove powers activate. I don't, because it seems like once again he would win every fight with that, and he uses it sometimes. I don't know if it. Once again, we don't know anything about him. So
Yeah,
maybe,
he's not about fighting fair.
No.
We've noticed
but then
that.
sometimes he is. Like, it's really,
Yeah.
sometimes he uses
But he's a
his
man
discs.
of honor, right?
Yeah.
They always talk about the honor that he brings.
Because sometimes he
He'll-
just shoots people with the killing disc. Sometimes he uses the hot hand. But then other times
Sometimes
he's
he
like,
breaks somebody over his knee.
Oh.
Bane style.
I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about the best death in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like it belongs to Cage. But yeah, he does do a Bane finisher. But so then Rick Yoon is it seems like he's dead, which I thought that's a weird use of Rick Yoon to just kill him right away. But no, he just has the burned neck. And he shows up
very real
later,
burn.
seemingly seeking vengeance against Brax, but then we just don't see him again.
Doesn't do anything.
No,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't know. And also, it's even weirder that I know who the actor is.
If he was the one who showed up with the grenades and not Crabman,
That would've
I think
made
that's
more
a
sense.
completely different conversation.
I was
Crabman
Crabman
shouldn't be in this movie, period. Like, that
Correct.
character should just
Why?
go. Because
Correct.
he's doing nonstop shtick in every scene, and it's
Yes.
bad. It's not funny,
yes.
and it's
not funny.
bad.
Yes.
Because he's the classic guy who's like, oh, this is crazy, man. I can't believe this. You're just like, do we need this guy?
Right.
I mean, we all can't believe it when we're watching.
Yes.
I think just let the movie be crazy, but have the characters treat it seriously is fine.
I like to think that he was put in the movie after the first screening of the movie, and that was just his legitimate response to things going on.
I can't believe this.
I can't believe
we
this.
got to put this guy in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
They just pulled him from a test screening.
Rick Yoon doesn't get a satisfying conclusion to that.
No.
The other, the woman agent gets just destroyed.
Yeah.
My favorite line that she has, I think, is that all the guys run into the woods, shots fired, alien, you don't see anything. And she does the least militaristic thing is, we need help. We have 2 dead.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the bodies. We don't know what's going on. We're not calling for a medic. She's like, 2 dead. We're just writing those 2 guys off.
We're ignoring
Just
them.
like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, not man
Like,
down, not anything
not
like
man
that.
down. 2 dead.
2 are
Just
dead.
like,
No.
2 are dead. Fine. We're not even going to go
Also,
look for their
I
bodies.
gotta say, I think my favorite thing in the movie that's so stupid is we have Tony Jaa break into the military base. He and the main character get this big fight. Then they find Frank Grillo and the rest of the Warriors, who are like, I can't believe you don't remember us. Then they have a big fight with all these army guys. And then somehow the main character is still captured at the end of that because they just bring him back. I'm like, so they didn't even rescue him.
Yeah. Like they did. Why did they break him out if they're just gonna?
Why is the first half hour of this movie just them fighting army people who have no understanding of what's happening? Like,
and don't become relevant to the plot.
Other than Crabman, who shows up later. Like, I thought it was going to be like, oh, we have to team up with the army now. No.
Nope.
And
No, they're
once
just
again,
gonna
they lay seeds of the female agent. They lay seeds of Rick Yoon. None of this has anything to do with the climax of the movie, ultimately. And they do force in this love story with the nunchuck girl, where those two have no chemistry, and she's not a defined character in any way, but apparently they're in love. And they kind of cheat that out by being like, well, yeah, you just forgot about it. So they already had a love story that establishes. Don't worry about it, guys.
Right.
That happened before the movie started.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
the script is atrocious.
Were so
why does she
comedically
get?
bad.
Why does she get 2 signature weapons? By the way, I
She
found
does
that
get
everybody
2
has a signature weapon. She has nunchucks and wrist arrows.
And like the lamest, like it's so like every time she fires it, it like goes off screen at such a slow velocity. Like it literally looks like a Nerf weapon.
I love when she shoots the magic one and it just turns into like fire in the air, and they're like, "That's how they'll know where we're going."
Can I just say also the comet in the sky is so good. Like that's that's some good.
And I love
CG
the whole
right
movie. The comet in the sky is just slowly moving. They're like, "No, if it gets to this place, then it's too late, and it'll kill everyone on the planet."
How slow is this comet traveling? If I had to guess, I would say comets travel a little bit faster than that.
Yeah, because the whole movie, it's just like, oh no, it's getting closer to where we don't want it to go. Like, it's meant to be a screenwriting device to sort of keep us on track for where the movie's going. It's the ticking clock of the film. But yeah, it's so dumb that it is the slowest moving comet ever. And what does the comet have to do? He comes on the comet, and then
no, it's just
no. He doesn't travel on the comet.
The comet signals his arrival because he comes through a portal in the Jiu-Jitsu temple.
Yes.
They don't ever specify. I had assumed that the whatever is going on in the stars at the time that comet comes through aligns with him being able to come through the portal.
Yeah.
Or he just is really into that comet and is like, well, I'm going to take my PTO on Earth, murder some humans.
You know, that's
my favorite
that's a pretty
celestial.
sweet comet, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just really into astrology. You know?
We literally don't know what Brax is into. So.
No, Brax is just. By the way, another thing. I don't know.
And we haven't talked about Brax at all.
I don't know if either of you guys have seen the Netflix remake of Lost in Space, but their redesign of the Lost in Space robot looks almost exactly like Brax, only with more money. But it's a similar like screen face and that kind of. But it looks more. It's a CG creation, so it doesn't have like a human body. It has more of a sort of theatrical alien body. Because this is just a guy in a dumb suit.
This felt like a Power Rangers episode.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
very much a Power Rangers type villain.
Yeah.
No. I as I was watching this, I kept saying to myself, "This is the worst episode of Doctor Who I've ever seen."
Ah, yes, Doctor Who, because it kind of looks. You squint and it's kind of a Cyberman.
Yeah.
100%.
It's
If,
got-
if a sonic screwdriver and a doctor showed up at the end of this, I would have completely understood this movie then. But we don't have that.
And
It's
just any of the doctors, any of them show up. I don't
Yep,
care.
it doesn't matter.
It could be
Yes,
It just
I do agree.
was-
Very much a Doctor Who villain.
I was describing it to a friend who was asking about this movie, and it's like, okay, describe the alien to me. And I was like, well, you're not going to believe this, but imagine a man, and you can't see his face,
Yeah.
but sometimes you can, and his eyes are red. What else do you need to know? Like that's what he's wearing a wetsuit.
Mhm.
He's wearing a wetsuit. His face is a television screen.
His face is a television screen, and he has two little beady red eyes that we occasionally see that are also placed right on his head where they should be if he was a man wearing a wetsuit. That's what this is. No thought went into this design.
Nope. None whatsoever.
This guy, Ryan Tehran, who plays Brax, is a really good stunt actor who's in tons of awesome projects. He did stunts for the Wolverine. He did stunts for Mad Max Fury Road. He is primarily Jason Momoa's stunt double in all of his projects. But I want to talk about the coolest thing, which is he is the stunt double for Chris Hemsworth in Thor Ragnarok, and he did all the mocap for the Hulk fighting in that movie.
So you're saying in this movie we get Thor fighting Batman?
Basically, yeah. Thor and the
Wow.
Hulk fighting Batman in one thing, basically, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how does Batman beat him? With grenades. That lines up.
Of course, yeah, grenades at the end.
Grenades.
Because it
Not
takes
jujitsu,
5 or
by the
6
way.
seconds for him to heal. Yeah, it doesn't actually matter about the jiu-jitsu at all.
Jiu-jitsu doesn't matter in this movie.
Other than he's able to, well, once again, as a kickboxing kick him into that portal. Nope, jiu-jitsu has nothing to do with anything.
Literally nothing to do with this movie whatsoever.
Listen, did you notice a game a segment we usually have as best one-liner? I noticed almost none in this movie.
Yep.
I have 2 written down, and one of them is weak. But-
Yeah, the only one I had is just remember the one thing you always have with jujitsu.
Yeah.
Leverage.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wrote that down. I also
Hey.
wrote down when he's talking about like how you could defeat him like this, you could do this, and Cage just goes, or you could just kill the son of a bitch. And actually the best one-line, because there are so few in this movie, I think the actual best like action movie one-liner is from Rick Yoon when he captures Jake in the forest and he says, I got a license to kill you. No expiration date. That's the only like true action movie-esque one-liner in the film. And it comes from an absolute nothing character.
Yeah.
My favorite, and the fact that he's the one who's been on this project for years and knows.
He
that's
talks
the thing that
about
doesn't make sense.
I've been hunting this thing for 24 years, he says.
Yet the army has no idea what this thing is. Like they have no context.
He's like
to
Gary
what's
Busey
going
in
on.
Predator, where he's the government agent is like, I think there are predators out there.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite line, it's not a one-liner, but my favorite line, and I couldn't tell if it was a Cage edition or if
I
it
know
was
I think I know
one-liner.
what you're gonna say.
Oh, I hope you do. Is when he, of course, master of all things alien psychology and anthropology, says that's just alien politics, 5 to 50. You're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And what are
I want to
That's not
know
the one.
more about Cage talking about the rules of alien politics.
Yeah, exactly. Like this guy who's been living in a cave
Yeah.
knows.
I've
all
read
these
the
things.
law books of the alien people.
I like he takes
Donovan. That was
he takes
go
Brax to
ahead.
court.
Yeah.
He's like, well, under subsection 8.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe he's violated the following clauses of the Human Interaction Act.
Yep. And then of course Brax throws acid on Cage's face and melts half of his face off.
Nicolas Cage, by
Sonic
the way, I'm
rivalry.
sure has tried to play Two-Face because I think he's tried to play every comic book character. I mean,
I like the idea that
it's one
he's
thing I
gonna
like.
play Face Off and Two Face.
Yeah,
Like if he
I
could
have
those
the
in his-
experience.
Yeah. What were
Yeah.
you gonna say, Listman? What line did you think I was gonna say?
okay. This is my favorite line.
I
I'm
hope
so
it's
excited.
mine as well because I have a favorite Cage thing. We'll see if it is.
He's talking about how he's hungry.
Oh, it's not
and he
this. But
said-
this is good too.
It says, "I can eat a noodle or a tickle. Yeah, I can eat."
I thought he said pickle.
No, he said tickle.
Okay.
Because
You
I
watched
had
it with the subtitles.
I watched it with the subtitles, and
Okay.
it said tickle. I'm like,
I mean,
what?
you guys
I
got
can
any
eat a
plates of
noodle or a
tickles
tickle?
around?
Did he? I was like, he probably meant to say pickle, but
What I
It's so
what I
weird.
love about
Pickle.
that though is when they say go get him something to eat, and they're in the middle of nowhere in this
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu temple, and they bring him a brown bag, like a takeout bag of food, and
Yeah.
he's like, I could eat.
Oh yeah, I could eat. Oh, that's right. Somebody hands him the bag of food,
Yeah.
and his response is not "thank you." It's just "I could eat," and then he grabs it.
And he already said
Yep.
he could eat earlier. He said he was hungry.
Yeah.
No, you guys
Yeah.
have not mentioned my favorite Cage moment in the movie.
Okay, let's go for it.
His skill at designing newspaper hats.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
best. That is the most. You see, it's all about attention to detail.
Oh
Amazing. A necessary detail in that film.
Yes, totally essential. I'm glad it came back in the end. Like that's how they defeated the alien.
Was the paper
Or when he
hats.
talks
Yeah.
about when he's fighting with Jake and Jake falls into his piano, he goes, "Hey, that's my piano."
Why did they fight in that scene?
I don't know.
There's no reason.
I couldn't understand it. Although I did like Cage's line where he's like, "I'm you in the future," and I thought he actually was.
I thought that too.
That would have been a better movie too somehow.
I'm you
Yeah.
from the future. He's him from the alternate future where he lost to Brax, and he has to
Yes.
prevent
Yes.
that from happening, right? I mean, that would have been a more
Yes.
interesting movie. I have to train you not to make the mistake you will make
That
and
I
become
made.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been better
yeah.
than he's your father. I'm you.
Yeah.
Instead of saying it here, say it in before the third act, and it's a big reveal.
Yes.
And then he sacrifices himself, but going like, "You can still change the future."
Uh-huh.
Like if he's howling him as he's dying, he's like, "You still have the chance." Once again, I think we've come up with just a few easy fixes to make this a better movie. Still probably not a
It's
good
not that
movie,
hard.
but a
Yeah.
better film that at least has some kind
Right.
of structure to it. That would probably require Cage to be in the movie more though too, which would get
Yeah,
expensive.
that's true. Yeah.
Speaking of Cage eating, I do like when he just rolls up on him cooking random meat on a campfire. Sit down.
Pull up a seat. Oh, you mean this circle,
That's-
like perfectly circled stone?
Well,
that
and this
is-
is
Yes.
also where we find out about Cage's shame of having been a coward who begged for his life the last time he fought Brax.
Mhm.
And he's like, he knew I was crazy, so I wasn't worth killing.
But that also where everything is pulling out the very loosely woven threads of this movie of if Brax is going to kill all 9 people, there
Yeah.
should be no survivors from the previous ones.
Yeah.
Like and
Yeah,
the fact
you think so?
yeah,
That's
and-
why they add that in, because he says, because I was crazy, he thought I wasn't worth it. And the whole thing about why if there's once 9 of us, why are there only 8? And there's a flashback to he killed a guy immediately after coming out of the portal.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There was some random guy who got killed right away. And I don't know what, and then and Jake ran, because that's the whole thing about don't be the coward I was because you ran away from him the last time you faced him. Even
That's
though
crazy.
Jake has no memory of that and never really fully recovers his memory.
Never
Is
gets
that-
his
No.
memory back.
Not
Yeah.
exactly. He gets pieces of it. He remembers Nicolas Cage training him as a kid, and he
when
does
somebody
have the
tells him it's his father.
yeah, then he's
Yeah.
like, oh, right. Yeah, I do kind of remember. But it's all like, I kind of remember that. Oh, I kind of remember running away. Oh, I kind of remember that guy who died.
It's kind of like that phenomenon where like witnesses to a crime, like if they're told that something happens,
Yes.
then their mind creates that image
Yes.
in their head.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I saw that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
exactly.
totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it wasn't Nick Cage in the memory, because it wasn't a real memory.
I remember a guy with that hair.
Yeah.
That burned in there no matter what.
Yeah.
You'll never
I
forget
will
that hair.
never forget that
We
hair.
we should say that Listman and I talk a lot back and forth about movies we'll cover in the future, and there is a Nicolas Cage movie we will cover purely because of the wig he has on the poster, which we're obsessed with. So stay tuned for that episode, just because
Is that the
it
one
is-
where he has the mustache?
he has
too?
the mustache and that
Okay, good.
insane wig, and
Yeah.
we don't know what the movie is, but we have to cover it at some point
It's
for that.
gotta be
Don't
better
care.
than this movie.
I will say that Nicolas Cage movies are definitely something we'll continue to cover, because he does deliver in a way Willis doesn't. And I bring up Willis again because, did you guys know the first choice for this character that Cage plays? Mr. Bruce Willis. That was who this was originally written for, and they very much pursued him for this part.
I am so glad he
I
is.
can't imagine Bruce Willis in this part. In what world?
You need somebody who's crazy like a cage.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
This is a quote from the director who says, Bruce never returned our call, and to this day we haven't been able to get a hold of him. We don't know why. He told us he loved the script. So Bruce Willis said, yeah, I love that script. I'll do it, and then just never called back.
Yeah, but you also have to wonder if that's like thinking that you've got somebody interested in you, and so you keep like asking them out, and they keep like kind of dodging it. And you're like, yeah, I mean, but we're cool, like we're friends.
So, so you're saying like Willis was just like, yeah, no, I love the script, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I'll think
the
about
director's
it.
just swooning.
All he heard was I love the script, but he's like, I love the script, I'll have to check my schedule, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Great script, man. I'll look into
he
maybe doing it, and then he ghosted a movie production.
What I like to think is what he said was, can't do this. I love the script of the film I'm currently working on.
Hard
kill. Hard kill.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but the director's blocked out all but I love the script.
Bruce Willis has 4 movies coming out this year that haven't come out yet.
Amazing.
He just churns these things out. I do think
this movie not good enough for Willis?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how is this?
No. It's not the movie. It's the paycheck.
Even though they ended up paying Cage more than $1 million a day because he worked 3 days and got $5 million. So they actually paid, because Willis's whole thing, we've talked about this on the show before, but Willis will be in any movie if you pay him $1 million a day. You can film as many scenes with him as you can fit into a day, but if you go into the next day, then it's another $1 million. That's how.
Except for this movie, apparently.
Yeah, this movie is like no.
Except for this movie.
Maybe he didn't want to go to Cyprus. Because I don't know how much he wants to travel to make these movies too. You know,
he wants to film it in his own home.
I think that's, we saw that with Kelsey Grammer and Money Plane. I am certain they filmed those scenes in Kelsey Grammer's home.
Yes.
Amazing.
Because he was available one Sunday morning. That was the best. I'll do it if you can film in my home from like 9 to 5 on this Sunday.
I'm gonna wear sweatpants, but don't shoot me from the waist down.
Yeah, only cowboy.
I might also be tinkering with this new Frasier script, but there is a Bruce Willis Frank Grillo movie that I think we may be able to sneak in Listman by the promise of Frank Grillo being a main character.
Yeah, if Frank Grillo's in it, I am more willing to watch it.
And that is the greatly named Cosmic Sin. So please let us know if you'd like us to talk about Cosmic Sin, because I've been trying to pitch this to Listman. And you're wary of Bruce Willis, but I will say Frank Grillo, I think, is actually the main character of the movie. So
Frank Grillo he's proven that even if a movie makes absolutely no sense, he is able to commit in a way that's very realistic.
I know. I was so bummed when he died in this movie. His thing is he's got daggers. He throws daggers, which is cool.
Yeah. It's cool.
And he unfortunately dies in the movie because they all end up dying except for Tony Jaa and Nunchuck Girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tony Jaa does get thrown through a brick wall and knocked unconscious, though. And then he's just not around. Oh, the other thing I don't understand is there's a fight between Tony Jaa and Brax that happens off screen, because when Jake and Nicolas Cage are sitting around that campfire, Tony Jaa just walks up holding his shoulder that's been wounded, and he's like, oh, yeah, I made it out of there, man, but it was crazy. And you're like, wait, why didn't I get to see that other Tony Jaa fight?
Yeah.
Don't have the money, I guess. Probably something that was in the script and got cut because they had to fit budget. Although
they would have made
$25 million is more expensive than a lot of the movies we cover on this show.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised. I mean, there was full sequences. Like there was an entire chase scene that was just done in comic book panels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the number of times that happened was
crazy. That's another crutch they can fall back on, is we'll just show it as the comic book.
Terrible.
Because it's based on a comic book, I guess, even though once again the movie never credits the comic book.
Nope.
But I guess because they don't have to, because the rights are owned by the screenwriter, so he technically did write it. So he's just like, whatever, I don't need people. Because is it even available anywhere? Can you read this comic, or is it purely a selling thing? Like,
no,
they are mixing up the term comic book and what's it called in films where a storyboard.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I wrote a comic once. Oh cool, we love making movies out of comics.
Here it is. I'm looking at it. It's sold out on Amazon.
Oof, dang.
It's probably because the movie came out and people are like,
the art style of it is really weird. It's sort of manga-esque, or at least the covers. I'm looking at the covers, but like heavy pencil and then like smeared color. I'm looking at. It's weird. This is a weird comic book thing. Jiu-jitsu. And by the way, I mean, when we talk about Nicolas Cage is a guy who, and this will come as no surprise, who is very into Asian culture. Should that come as no surprise, he's a guy who rocks a kimono and talks about samurai.
Yeah.
And look, I don't, no judgment, but has married multiple much younger Asian women in traditional Asian ceremonies. So I think the very Italian Nicolas Cage definitely likes the idea of being, because it does feel like his character should be an Asian guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, should this be a Chow Yun Fat or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
I mean, but I would not trade Cage. Although if we got Chow Yun Fat, who's another one of my favorite actors.
But that's a different movie. Like, we're pitching.
That's a
completely
better movie. That's a more serious, grounded movie. Because no, I mean, we do have Tony Jaa, but this could have just been this could have been Tony Jaa and Michelle Yeoh and Jet Li. If you seriously wanted to make a martial arts movie, you could have filled this with martial arts stars. Instead, you have the one, and then you have a guy who's an American, works cheap, kind of, kickboxer, knows jiu-jitsu, but once again doesn't have any ability or doesn't have any reason to show it in this movie. That made me laugh that he did actually train in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, to be fair, but still a form of jiu-jitsu that he still doesn't do in the movie.
Doesn't use in this film.
Yeah.
The conclusion of this film of let's cut him, stuff him with grenades, and explode him through a portal.
Yeah.
Makes me want to know why we didn't shoot a rocket-propelled grenade at this guy.
They never do that.
We never do anything
the big most explosive thing that
hits
hits him is the arrow, because they talk about how is the arrow making such big holes in him.
Yeah.
Even though he got shot point blank with an M60 machine gun by Rick Yoon.
That split him in half.
It did fuck him up a bit, actually. That one did affect him a bit. And I thought, just
kill
him there.
Yeah.
Just keep doing that thing. Shoot his head, not his body.
I liked about that sequence is that like the blue sort of gore, like the monster's sort of flailing, it's getting shot. But I like that the blue effect that they put on it was not moving with the body. No. It was just perfectly still while the creature was sort of,
He also,
shaking.
Did you like how he lets out this vapor when he heals too? This unexplained. He like.
Oh, he vapes.
Yeah, he's high as a kite this whole movie, man. He is token.
Amazing.
Also, talking about the design of him, how his face is always sort of just this like nondescript, opaque kind of white, but then sometimes you kind of see an alien face in it.
Yep.
When they want to punch in for close-ups. So cool and scary, man. I was creeped out by this thing. This is better than the Predator design, let's be honest.
So much better.
And the pacing of these fights, there's so many people who put up a block before the punch is even thrown. Like that's the thing I couldn't get over, or like jumps over a kick that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it just drives me crazy. We were talking before the podcast that I watched the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Yes.
Like almost immediately after watching this movie, and it was, even though that movie is filled with quite a bit of nonsense as well.
But Mortal Kombat owns its nonsense, just as a franchise in general. It's doing what I wish this movie did, which is just like, we're not talking about specific forms of martial arts. We're just doing general crazy fantasy martial arts movie.
Yes.
And you're just like, then just sit back and enjoy it. And I have not at this point watched the new Mortal Kombat as of yet. Yeah. But I've heard the fight scenes are great in that movie.
It is better than this movie. Yeah. I will say that.
Yeah. I have heard, because I know that was something they set out to do that they felt the previous Mortal Kombat movies didn't deliver on as much as they really wanted to get and that's because that's what you're paying to see in a Mortal Kombat movie.
John, you won't get 10 minutes into that movie before you let out a couple of and also a couple tears. I mean, they just hit you early.
They do. That's true.
That's what I want out of a martial arts film. Like that's the thing. We're three people We love martial arts movies. That's why we're talking about it. That's why we watch this. And that's why I say, like, I enjoy pieces of the movie. When Tony Jaa's fighting, it's awesome because that guy is great. The guy who plays Jake, the big thing they do with him is he has a number of, like, flip kicks or somersault kicks. They like to do big, showy, which is fine, especially for a movie like this, because once again, I don't know how serious we're supposed to be treating the martial arts here. They are completely
not at all
showy, ineffective moves you would never use in actual combat.
Yes.
Because they take so much time. You'd have to be perfectly set up for them. I saw one of my favorite martial artists, Scott Adkins, doing a review of martial arts scenes in movies, and he talks about anytime he sees somebody do like a big flip in a movie, he's just like, there's no reason to do that in actual competition.
No.
We have yet to talk about Mr. Adkins on this show, but we will, because I love Scott Adkins. He's a great martial artist. And I wish he had been the star of this movie, because he also has charisma and is a good actor.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Yeah. But, yeah, the final fight is, he slashes him a bunch with the... Once again, here's something that would have been cooler as well. You could still do the grenades in his chest, because you have to find a way to kill him from the inside. Because the whole point is the point isn't to try to kill him. They always talk about it. It's just if you can beat him in combat. But Nicolas Cage is the one who says, why don't you just kill him? What if it had been that he's holding him off using the jujitsu, meanwhile somebody else stuffs the grenades in him? But it still falls on this guy's jujitsu to get him into a place. Instead, he slashes him with a sword a bunch, and then the nunchucks woman shoots him with the magic arrows off of her wrist. And
also, it's a 2-on-1 fight, not a 1-on-1 fight. It's actually more of a 3-on-1 fight. I don't know.
Yeah.
None of the
Crab
rules
Man
of the
even gets in on there.
None of the rules of the competition are upheld.
Yeah.
No,
there's no honorable thing in this movie.
The other thing that I laugh so hard at is when the old woman from the beginning of the movie shows up with a shotgun and starts shooting Brax.
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been
team
happy
old
if that
woman
killed
from the
him.
Fishing
Yeah,
Village.
she just blows his head off with a shotgun.
Yeah.
This movie was only an hour and a half long, which, John, I appreciate. You keep finding.
Yeah, I
movies that
try
are
to
pretty short.
find shorter ones. There's a couple that have. Anytime these
here's
things, I think we've talked about any of these that dip. This is about an hour 40, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
But anything that dips over 100 minutes is trouble.
I will say this movie felt like it took 3 hours to get all the way through.
Yes.
For me.
It drags because these fight scenes are bloated. They're not exciting long fight scenes.
Yeah.
Some of these fights are boring.
Yeah.
The fight
really boring.
with the 3 nameless other guys who just need to get knocked off so we can whittle down the amount of warriors, which is the very Predator one. My God, that was boring. We don't know who those guys are.
We don't care.
They're just the other guys, and they're like, well, we said 9 guys. We killed the one at the beginning of the thing, so we got to take these 3 out so we can get it down to a reasonable number of characters.
Yeah.
And that fight scene, I remember almost nothing that happens in it.
Yeah, I think this movie has 30 minutes of interesting content in it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It's weird Cage performances and Tony Jaa's fights.
Totally.
Yeah.
You could cut this down to a brief YouTube miniseries.
If there is a YouTube video of like the best moments from Jiu-Jitsu, just watch that, because that's gonna be
my
better.
recommendation.
Because the plot, as we've talked about, is nonsense. That's not going to carry you through.
There's no motivation.
None of the characters are really defined in any way, other than Nicolas Cage is probably the most defined character because he's crazy.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo's got something going on. He's got life in him only because Grillo's giving a good performance, but the writing doesn't give that character anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost like Frank Grillo being like, "I'm here to play, guys. You want to give me? Okay, no, all right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll be over here. If anybody
I'll
needs
give
me."
myself motivation.
They paid.
I guess nobody else is doing it.
In the credits of the movie, I saw his trainer was Mr. Grillo's trainer, which means this production paid for his trainer. Like, why? He doesn't really do anything in the movie.
Yeah.
Not much, yeah.
It's insane. I'm looking through my notes to see if there's anything else here. Tony Jaa just being alive at the end of the movie. He misses out on the final fight, and then he's just in the temple and he gives a nod like, "Good job. They couldn't afford me to be here for the climax, but I'll still."
Even though I could have handily dealt with Drax.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then
or Brax.
Yeah. legally different than Drax.
Sorry, yeah.
And they
Even though both can turn invisible.
Yeah, and the old lady ends the movie by turning to Jake and saying, "You were born to do this." And you're like, "Was he?" I guess he's the. I guess
fell
he's the
off the
chosen
couch
one.
because I rolled my eyes so hard.
It's dangerous. Your doctor warned you about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And
He's
then,
the chosen one. That's why he has that temporary tattoo at the beginning of the film that doesn't become relevant ever.
and
It
how-
definitely looks like a temporary tattoo.
it looks bad. It looks really bad. And then there's so much talk about it too, where they're like, "What is this tattoo?"
I'm like, I got that from my dentist when I was 8.
Yeah, I think I did it.
I was a good boy and I got that tattoo.
No, that was the No Cavity Club. They gave me the.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And how does this movie actually, the very last thing we get, shtick from Crabman and a freeze frame on him. It's like, that's the last image of the movie, is him being like, "I can't believe this."
Yeah, exactly. You know, he is the weirdest form of a J.W. Pepper in this movie, right? The
now you're
man
talking my
who's
language, yeah.
technically there to do a job, but is just in disbelief at all the craziness around him.
Secret agent.
On whose side?
You some kind of doomsday machine. J.W. Pepper makes some contextual sense in Live and Let Die, makes no sense whatsoever in Man with the Golden Gun.
Oh man, I loved when he showed up again.
But great context in Superman 2.
And he's in that's the best, is that he transfers franchises, and that guy
As
that
the same character.
is in.
Sometimes to be a peacekeeper, you gotta kick a little ass.
Yeah.
That's the best line in that film.
I do love that he is just immediately bested by Zod in that movie, but
Of course he is.
yeah.
Of course he is. Like,
That's-
he stood no chance.
that's
but
great.
he did it anyway.
He went out there, yeah. Zod takes his shotgun, and he's fascinated by it. Anyway, anything else you guys have about Jiu-Jitsu? I think we got through pretty much all of my notes. This movie,
There's not much to talk
the
about.
movie's
honestly.
all over the place. So
It's an
Yeah.
operatic series of groans from me.
I'm gonna look through and see. Oh, there was a Wilhelm scream in it. I do want to point that
There
out.
was.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
right.
when Tony Jaa's attacking the base, you do hear a Wilhelm scream when a guy falls off.
I introduced Maggie to she'd obviously heard the Will.
Everybody has. You know it the second.
But
you
she
hear
didn't
it.
know that was like a thing. And then when we were watching it, she's like, "There it is, the Wilhelm scream." I'm
Yeah.
like, it's in literally everything.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I think that was my
'Cause
only
it's
other note of.
Free.
Yeah, it's and it's great. It's iconic. It's in every Star Wars movie. It's in so many things. Yeah, fall down that rabbit hole on the internet of looking up the
Oh boy.
the Wilhelm scream. There's a ton of stuff
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
The other thing is, do yourself a favor and just look through the IMDb photos for this movie and how weird Nicolas Cage looks doing press for the film.
Yes.
With his crazy red sunglasses and his T-shirt with Bruce Lee on it and his gigantic belt buckle. He looks insane. Because, of course, once again, to continue to fool you into thinking it's a Nicolas Cage movie, Nicolas Cage was front and center doing talk shows and press conferences for this movie to try to get the word out about it because they wanted to sell you on his star power. And, I mean, the last Nicolas Cage movie we talked about, Primal, not a great movie, but very much a Nicolas Cage film. He is the main character in it.
The main actor in it, yeah.
This movie, 3 days he worked on it. I'm actually
3 days.
impressed. They were working fast because he is in the movie more than it would seem like it would take 3 days to shoot.
He is
Not when you take out all of the fact that he is not in any of those fight scenes.
Well,
yeah,
that's
he's
true.
basically not in any fight scene. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
take-
Because that's true. They can just use the stuntman on the days he's not there. Shoot a
Who
few
probably
close-ups.
got who probably got a cool $8,000 for all of his work
yeah,
on
and
the
I'm
film,
sure that was
you
the
know?
guy they used in that flashback scene as well. Just the stunt
Yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, as we said, there's really not any one-liners, so we can't do our one-liner segment. And I think we got to talk about it, though. We need to talk in detail about what I think is the best kill of the movie. Do we all agree it's the Nicolas Cage death?
Oh, 100%.
I think so. Yeah,
Because he gets
Even
killed,
though it is meaningless for the plot and did not need to happen, I agree.
but he gets killed 3 different ways. Like, because it's him versus Brax. They have a sword fight, and it's an okay sword fight, except for cutting around the fact that it's not Cage, which means
gets-
so many
gets
cuts.
$1 million a day. He gets $1 million for that wig and $1 million for every death. That's his $7 million.
Yep.
Right there.
Right there.
You know? That's,
Broke it down.
that's how they calculate it.
There you go. Because yes, he initially gets stabbed through the chest with the sword.
Yep. Not a jiu-jitsu weapon.
No. This very much wants to be like a Kurosawa duel. This is very much a samurai kind of scene because then he also gets sliced in the gut with the classic like they run by each other and he gets that.
Yep.
Yeah. Which once again, and Cage is acting the hell out of every moment with the like, oh.
Yep.
He makes a meal out of it.
He sure does.
And then he's broken.
Then he's broken over
half.
Brax's knee,
Yeah.
like Batman in Nightfall. He gets a Bane move, which I was like,
Why?
oh my god. Which if that's not a Cage idea, that had to be because we know Cage is a huge comic book guy. It is one of my favorite things about Nicolas Cage is that he is just a gigantic comic book nerd. We know, of course, he named his son Kal-El. So it's just like I remember when he did that. I'm like, yep, you're it, Nick. You are the biggest Superman fan. We get it. And then finally, if that's not enough, he's already broken over this guy's knee. Brax, it's easy to make that mistake, and Marvel's keeping an eye on it. I'm sure they listened intently throughout the movie. Just say it. Drop that Drax. We got our lawyers at the ready. He then gets his throat slit with the sword.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
He gets impaled,
Brax not
sliced,
about honor. Yep. Yeah,
sliced, broken over a knee, and then his throat cut. Yeah.
He is 100% about sadism. That's his whole thing.
He dies the most I've seen a character die, maybe anything, and he's still alive.
Yeah.
He's alive at the end of the movie. I'm still here.
That'd be amazing.
Me too. I was kind of hoping for maybe like a Force ghost.
Yeah.
Like nodding in approval, like, well done, son. Well done.
Yeah. The jiu-jitsu propels his spirit,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The spirit of jiu-jitsu. I don't know why Frank Grillo's in this movie because
he doesn't need to be.
He doesn't need to be. He's an actor in major movies. I don't know if it's a paycheck. I don't know if it's a trip to Cyprus. I don't know a chance to work with Nicolas Cage. I don't know what it is.
Maybe the director has some kind of dirt on him,
compromising photos.
Yeah.
It is just like
sometimes.
he's slumming it in this thing. To number one, if he's gonna be in a B movie, to not be the star of it, especially when he's the star of like A Pictures, is really weird. That's weird. And I mean I'm thrilled to see him because I love the guy, but and also he's not on the poster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Weird choice there.
I was surprised to find out that he was in this movie.
Because I mean, to people like us, Tony Jaa's a big deal, but probably to a more mainstream, just broad audience, Frank Grillo is a bigger name.
Yeah.
He's in Marvel movies for God's sake,
Yeah.
All right. Well, Listman, as you know, every week I do try to find. I am always endeavored to find the weirdest IMDb user review for whatever movie we're talking about.
Can't wait, John. Can't wait.
And this one's pretty weird. And there are a lot of reviews for this movie. But I always weed out any of the ones that enjoy it in like a ironic way because we're not talking about that. But here is a review that is it's a 10 out of 10 from a user named Juan Muscle. And the review is titled, "I think the idea is fantastic. Just needs a little some." I think he means something, but he wrote some. Some. Yeah. Yep. Here it is. This is a review on the longer end, but go with me. I think it's worth it. Here we go. Firstly, I want to say that the antagonist alien warrior thing is badass. Yes, it is like the Predator, but one thing that has always left me with a bad taste in my mouth with the Predator storyline is how the Predator kills his best adversaries while they have their backs turned. I mean, come on. Look at Predator 1987 and see how Jesse the Body Ventura got it. Yeah, it looked cool, but for the sake of honor and dignity, there was none. He shot him with his back turned from above. Jesse never had a chance. Please. Here's the thing, at least. This thing at least lets the other fighters have a chance by challenging them face to face, which I thought gave this whole premise a cut way above the original Predator. And I am a huge fan of anything Predator. That is why I love this thing. Yes, I thought it was magnificent. It just needed a little tweaking. like a mechanic goes in to tune up a script, because it's all about the writing. Not to mention the effects here were cool, and everyone did a fantastic job with their lines. And at the end, if I may add, was a fantastic line, very funny, about mama aliens and baby aliens. But in the end, if the script would have gone through another set of eyes and gotten it all sealed up with a little bit of proper explanations around the timeline of the thing, then in my opinion, I think this could have been as good, if not better, than Alien and Predator. I truly believe that from the heart, and I'm not a shill. Trust me on this. That being said, this, although a little off and not much, is way fun to watch. The beginning is cool, has a video game feel to it that explains a lot of the fighting with guns being blasted at the protagonist from every angle, and yet coming out of it unscathed. Very, in my opinion, very, very cool directing as well. Because the fight sequences were spread out enough in specific takes to make you see just how cool all the punches and kicking and stabbing unfolded before your eyes. I loved it. Like I said, perhaps if they could have explained a little bit of how the first team with Jake and Nick Cage were going to take on Brax without any hint of understanding how to destroy an immortal alien, would have been pretty nice, because they seem to know a lot about the infernal space monster. So, that being said, once Jake, the protagonist, procured the information on how to eliminate Brax on the quest, he never really passed down this very crucial sensitive intelligence to any of his teammates. And watching his yet nondescript father, Nicolas Cage, die a miserable death while Jake and his pretty Asian cutie watch cruelly and weirdly off to the side, that was strange. But that being said, I absolutely loved it. It was a marvel to watch, and I highly recommend it for someone who is looking for something fun to watch. I would have saved the pretty white girl from departing before her character could redeem herself, but those are just little subjective particulars. Anyway, trust me, put it on and enjoy it. It is very cool. Everyone involved in the thing should be very, very proud of themselves. Fine job. Cool, in my opinion. 10 out of 10 stars.
That is
What
unbelievable.
What a journey.
I know.
Do you think this guy's trolling? Do you think that, like, because he's just like, this movie is fantastic. Well, this little bit didn't make any sense.
It feels to me like a real stream of consciousness. Like, it's just he's just like, it's great, and then he's like, well, this part kind of doesn't work, but I loved it. And he keeps
feel like a fever dream.
Yeah,
you know?
that is one of the weirdest reviews we found for what I think so far is the weirdest movie we've watched.
Yes, this is definitely the weirdest movie.
It's not the worst, but it is the weirdest.
Yes.
This is a very, very strange film.
I have a hard time imagining it's not both, to be perfectly honest.
I know.
You didn't see Hard Kill.
It's so true.
That movie is really
and after
weird.
your glowing review,
Oh,
I'm not sure I'm going to spend
Oh,
my
really? You're not
time
gonna run
watching
it? It's right on Netflix. It's pretty easy to watch.
I mean that I've watched things for less, that's for sure.
For less than free.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, the final thing we do on every episode, of course, and Donovan, I think you'll enjoy this because it involves a little bit of improv here. We are going to use our patented random action movie title generator, and we are going to come up with a brand new action movie plot based on this title that will star Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
This is a new
Star, or do we get him for 20 minutes?
This is a Nicolas Cage vehicle. He's going to be the main character. And so I'm going to hit the randomizer right here, right now.
One follow-up question. Sorry.
Yes.
Is this Nicolas Cage currently?
It
or
is.
do I get to pick any era
This
of
is
Nicolas
current
Cage?
day Nicolas Cage. We
Got it.
only play backwards if an actor is dead in the movie. So
Got it.
So here we go. I'm going to hit the randomizer right now. We'll see what we get. Let's go here. All right. It is Nicolas Cage in Fist of Revenge. Fist of Revenge.
Oh boy, Fist of Revenge.
Fist of Revenge. What do we think this movie's about?
Gosh,
Fist of Revenge opens in inner city Chicago.
Okay. I like it
Where
already.
Nicolas
A town of
Cage-
violence.
Yep. Where Nicolas Cage in Chicago's Chinatown is running a little noodle house.
Ooh, I like it.
is-
We've established his
he-
love of noodles and tickles in this movie. So.
Exactly. He is just, cooking up noodles whenever he can.
Yeah.
He speaks Cantonese, probably.
Flawlessly.
flawlessly, which helps him win credit with some young street thugs who
He has a
eat
Fu
at his
Manchu
noodle house.
mustache. You
Yep.
know?
There's got to be
Yep.
that classic scene where they're talking in Cantonese and insulting him, and then he says something back, and they now know he
Yep.
speaks it too.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
that's a
He's-
great movie device.
Yeah.
So he wins them over.
Yeah.
And then his old nemesis, who is a martial artist, moves into town and starts murdering rival gang members, including the boys he's befriended. And he goes on a just carb-loaded rage fest, taking out, because he eats noodles, of course.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, of course,
Very
yeah.
integral to the plot. Where he takes down his rival gang one by one by one.
There you
Can
go.
Can the final fight scene be in a noodle factory
Oh,
where he
yes,
powers
yes.
himself up by just like
like
where-
Popeye
doubling down?
style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hang
Yeah.
on,
Where
I got a
I
carbo load.
And I'm sure that there's no way that they could get the rights to this, but if they could play the traffic song Shanghai Noodle Factory, that would probably be the perfect way to finish that film off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
sounds great.
man.
I want to see him fighting with woks and with like
Yes.
utensils from the kitchen.
Yes.
I want to see him tie somebody up in noodles.
Yes. Yeah, a noodle trap.
Yes.
noodle trap. And he says when the
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
all of the fights
protect
involve
your noodle. you
something
know?
to do with Asian food making. Yeah.
This
Oh,
sounds,
100%.
sounds like an excellent movie.
Yep. I love it. I don't think we can improve on that.
Yeah,
I would enjoy it more than jujitsu.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's Nicolas Cage in Fist of Revenge, coming soon to a red box near you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we fought through jiu-jitsu this week. Next week on the show, we're taking a big shift and heading into the mismatched cop movie, but with a twist. We're gonna get a little wholesome next week because we are watching the Christian themed Truth and Justice.
Yeah.
This is a movie that features the unlikely pairing of a tough inner city cop and a priest who have to solve a murder together.
Amazing.
Yeah. It can only be something brilliant. And we have your pal Devin Roberts joining us to talk about it.
Yep. Yes.
Do you, as always, though, I will ask: would you like the tagline for next week's movie?
Yes, please.
This one is a little bit more of a thinker.
Okay. Great.
Sometimes the answer is closer than you think. I don't know.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought there was more to it.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, that's
okay.
it. Sometimes the answer is closer than you think. And this is a movie that is either called Truth
Hold
and
on.
Justice or Crossing Streets, depending on where it was released.
Really?
Hold on. Can I just say this for a second? I'm not going to give away the plot to the movie I've never seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That tagline makes me believe that one of the two cops or somebody in one of the two, or sorry, not two cops, the cop or the pastor
Mhm.
or their families was somehow involved in this murder, right? There's got to be something, some foul play.
That's
Yeah.
very likely.
Or-
Yeah,
You
that's
know
very
what it is? I'm calling this right now. The cop, it's some crooked cop on the police force that makes the good cop lose his faith in the police. So where does he find faith?
The
With the
church.
pastor
Yeah.
through spirituality. I'm calling it. It's
I
got to
just-
be. And if it
I
This is going to be one of the most out there movies, and I will say in advance, I don't know how much of an action movie this is because we talk about some of the movies we end up watching. This is in the action category on Amazon, but that doesn't always mean it's full of action.
amazing.
But it is a police mystery film, and the classic, these two can't stand each other, but they're going to solve this crime together.
Amazing.
So yeah, with a Christian theme. So I don't know what we're gonna see next week, but
Are you guys gonna watch Velocipaster? Have you seen that one yet?
you know, we talked about Velocipaster. It's a little
did
too
think about it.
in on its joke, though. I think for this show, we like
Yeah.
movies that are more sincere.
I honestly couldn't tell if it was in on its joke or not, and maybe I'm just
seemed
not
like
in on
it
the
was.
joke.
It seemed like it was trying to be bad to me. It seemed like it was more in a Sharknado kind of fashion.
Yeah, I could see that.
Although I do think it's more enjoyable than a Sharknado.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, we're going to talk about that next week on the show. Donovan Eilert, thank you for joining us.
Of course, guys. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Glad to see you, even if it's just virtually.
Virtually and digitally and that whole thing. But it was great. And I again will ask you, how dare you? This film didn't promise me anything. It didn't deliver on the promise of Nick Cage or jiu-jitsu.
No.
Nope.
I still think Brendan got it the worst with Against the Dark, but
he did.
He is furious. That movie is terrible.
It's one of the worst films
It's the
we've seen
second
so far.
worst. Hard Kill is still the worst.
I would agree with that,
Against the Dark is number 2. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of The Action Shelf. I'm John Campbell.
And I'm Michael Listman.
Till next week, get yourself some action.
The Action Shelf.
The Action Shelf is part of the Panel Up Podcast Network. Remember to follow us on social media. We're at Action Shelf Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And you can email us at actionshelfpod@gmail.com. Of course, you can also support the entire network by heading over to patreon.com/panelup to get cool exclusive bonus content.